this is Rene with Neptune Cigars here at the PCA 2023 in Las Vegas. I'm here with Nick Melillo from Foundation Cigars. Nick, thank you so much for taking the time with us today.
Pleasure to be here. Always good to see you.
Ditto.
Love Neptune. Neptune.
We love you too.
Big fans.
So how's the show going? We're on day 2 now.
It's going really well, man. It's great to be back at full capacity. I think this is the first time since 2019 where we're at full-size booth.
The difference is noticeable.
Yes, and we needed it last year. It was great. We just kind of cut out a little bit of the booth, and we actually needed it last year. So we were sure to make it happen this year.
Nice.
Yeah.
How was the whole year for Foundation in general, this last one?
Incredible, man. I mean, it's really humbling to see the support from around the country, the demand from around the world that's coming in. We don't do much internationally because we try to stay loyal to our customers that have been ordering from us first and foremost. But it's great to see the brands make it through such a tough time. We really got to see the strength of the brands over this whole pandemic.
Yeah.
Not being on the road, not really visiting shops or having salespeople out on the road. So now post-pandemic, we've just been onward and upward.
No, Foundation's a force to be reckoned with for sure. I mean, I see it on the front lines working in the store. Every day it's either somebody coming in to grab more cigars or asking about your cigars. That must be pretty humbling and flattering at the same time.
It is. I love to see new people learn about the brand. We're a fairly newer company, right? To the industry. Of course, I've been in the industry since '96, so I'm not a newcomer.
Right.
But to see people discover the brand, discover all the different blends, and we really tried to create blends and brands that there's something for every different type of customer.
Right. Yeah, I've noticed.
That was my idea, right? Is if you only had Foundation in your humidor, as working a retail shop, there's so many different people that come in that door. They want different blends, different price points. So I tried to have something for every type of cigar smoker. And I like something different.
Of course.
I don't always like the same thing. If I was forced to pick something, okay, I have my favorites, but I like to smoke sometimes mild, medium, all different types.
Whatever
of
the
blends.
mood strikes.
That's it.
So that being said, what can we expect from the company, from Foundation 2023 and beyond?
We have some really cool introductions for this show. One is the new Charter Oak Especiales. The reason I'm a cigar smoker is my grandfather's. So I wanted to do something in homage to them. So I created 2 special Charter Oaks. These are completely different than the core line Charter Oak. Completely different blends. There's only one commonality, the wrapper. So I did one in the Connecticut broadleaf. It's called Pasquale, which was my father's father.
All right.
And the other one is in Connecticut Shade, which is called Pegnatero. That was my mom's father.
Oh, that's so cool.
And they both, my Pasquale loved Connecticut broadleaf. He always smoked extra oscuro Connecticut broadleaf. And my other grandfather, Pegnatero, smoked Connecticut Shade. These are much richer, more complex, a lot more in-depth blends than the core line. The core line of Charter Oak was really a dedication to them because they all smoke Connecticut brands, but that would have been their everyday smoke. This is more of something special, special occasion, weekend smoke. So these are a limited quarterly production, 5.5 by 48, 12 count boxes. So these should be coming out early fall.
That's cool. Yeah, and you mentioned the other core line of Charter Oak. I think a lot of smokers that smoke those, they know that they're very value priced as far as, they're affordable. But as far as these look like they share more in common with like a Melanic or even an Olmec.
Correct.
What about price point for
Correct.
these?
So retail, these are going to be 13. The tobacco, price point, this is using much different tobaccos. The Charter Oak core line was meant to be a value cigar because that's what the Connecticut brands of old were always. Great cigars for a great value. And I'm able to keep those at a price point because of the tobaccos that are used in there.
Sure.
They're more of the lower priming in the plant. So there's actually much more availability of that leaf compared to your Vizos and Ligeros and the upper primings of the plant. So yeah.
And just out of my own curiosity, the core line's broadleaf. I don't consider it to be too full-bodied. It's more like a medium full. Is this a little bit amped up? Or?
This is amped up.
Yeah.
This is amped up. There's much more Viso, it's stronger, heavier leaf in these plants. So this is going to be on the medium.
Leaning more towards full.
Full, yeah, definitely. And the shade is also much more beefed
Yeah?
up.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah,
I'm going to look forward to
it's
that one.
definitely a heavier shade.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, anything else besides this?
So also we have the Metapa. So this is the new, let's see if we can get this in the camera. How's that? So Metapa is our new core line, 10 count boxes. This is a Sumatra Ecuador wrapper, which I've never released a project with Sumatra Ecuador. So I've always used it behind the scenes, never have had a blend come to market. Sumatra Ecuador is very unique. You know, when I come out with things, I don't want them to be the same, right? The idea is to offer new, what's the point? This is a very unique wrapper. It has a slight, in a good way, bitterness, but if it's not blended properly, to me, sometimes it could be too bitter, right? So what's unique about this is the Connecticut broadleaf wrapper. It's sweeter, it's earthier, so it helps round out any of that bitterness. And then you have some really rich, heavy Nicaraguan fillers. So it's a full-bodied blend. So this imagery, Metapa is the name of a town south of Esteli. Metapa is actually a type of agave plant that was actually the symbol of the tree of life for many of the indigenous cultures in Central America, but it was the home of Rubén Darío. So this imagery is of Rubén Darío. He is one of the most famous Spanish poets of the early 1900s and one of Nicaragua's most famous national heroes. He changed and came up with a whole style of Spanish poetry called modernism in the early 1900s. It's an iconic image.
This is him here?
This is him here. Iconic image in Nicaragua. I've seen it for the past, 23 years. Kind of a little bit of a inspiration from Bolivar kind of brand. I love that Bolivar brand of that imagery. So this imagery of Rubén Darío is from a very special occasion when he was given the highest honor from the Nicaraguan government in the early 1900s. So special blend, special brand, 4 sizes, Maduro, and then also a Claro Sumatra Ecuador.
Nice.
Yes.
Release date on this?
It can be early fall. Yeah, early fall. I'm hoping for around September time. Yeah. So next is a very limited special.
You and your boxes, man.
I'm trying. This one's really special. This is the Tabernacle Knight Commander. This is one size. We're doing about 700 boxes. It's a 6 3/4 by 52 Perfecto, similar to the Signature that we released. Connecticut broadleaf. There we go. 12 count. I was honored by the Ethiopian Crown Council and knighted by the Prince of Ethiopia with the honor, the Ethiopian Star of Honor, which is the imagery here. This is the Star of Honor, goes back to the 1800s, and I was given the rank of Knight Commander. Crazy. I mean, it's the
you could die happy now.
I can. It's really special honor. I still can't believe it happened. So I wanted to do a special cigar, and from Foundation side, we're going to donate all of the proceeds to charities, so scholarship programs for Ethiopians. I wanted to be able to give back to the Ethiopian community for such an honor. So these are going to be highly limited, hopefully fall release. Possibly, I'm trying to get these in probably before the holiday times.
Yeah.
So these have been aging in Nicaragua for 15 months. So they've already had 15 months. By the time they're released, we're probably going to be looking at 18 months. I wanted to give them some nice age, so they're really kind of more balanced and not quite as too intense as maybe the Tabernacle blend.
Yeah.
So
That's awesome.
this one I'm really excited about. Yeah.
And it's the same size as the Senator, you said?
Same size, 6 3/4. I love this size for a special size. I think it lasts so long too, so you get, a really long smoke. These are going to be pricey. These are going to be $40 in that range for retail.
But it goes to a good cause.
It goes to a great cause, yeah. So
That's wonderful.
that's the Knight Commander, and then lastly, we ended up re-releasing the Signature because there was such a demand for it.
Most people just want the box, probably.
We did it for the 100th year anniversary of King Tut, and we've had so many people asking for it, so we decided to do it as an annual release every November, which is the anniversary of the discovery of the tomb of King Tut. So we're going to do a limited amount of about 500 boxes every November for the release.
Let me just tell you, when we were selling this at the store, when we had them, we the price point maybe kind of steered people, but then when people started trying them, we couldn't hold on to them, And I personally tried the cigar, and like you said, it's a slow burn, but it is absolutely just exquisite.
Yeah. And it's a special cigar, right? I mean, it's not something that's a regular production. It's for a special occasion. Yeah.
Sure,
I mean, if you can smoke them every day, God bless you. But for especially around the holidays, I think it's great to have a nice special smoke for Thanksgiving,
New Year's Eve.
New Year's Eve. Yeah, exactly. New Year's Eve, perfect
That's
cigar.
the best cigar. You
Yeah.
started at 11 and you ended at 2.
Yeah, you want something special.
Yeah.
So that was the intent. So
That's cool.
Yeah, man.
All right, so that does it for all the new stuff, huh?
Yes, sir.
Cool. So I think in closing, we have a customer question.
Yes.
This year around, we're having this thing where we surveyed our customers and gave them an
Sure.
opportunity to ask,
Sure.
the manufacturers. So Guillermo Rumbos from Miami, Florida,
Guillermo.
he wants to know. He's a huge fan of the David and Goliaths,
Yes.
right? And he doesn't prefer one over the other. He likes them both. He snatches them up whenever he gets them.
Nice.
But he's always complaining that they're impossible to find. So
Yeah.
can we make them a little more readily available, you think, or no plans?
Guillermo, unfortunately, they're not going to be. It's been a difficult situation in the Connecticut River Valley with the weather. So our access to Connecticut broadleaf and the Cuban seed that we grow in the Connecticut River Valley, in general, on a good growing season, broadleaf, the Cuban seed is difficult. It's not a high-yielding tobacco. There's a lot of challenges in the Connecticut River Valley. Then you add weather to the situation. So the year before last, for example, 20% of the crop made it through.
That's it?
20%. A lot of farmers had to plow under their crops because the weather was so bad. August for us in Connecticut, all of the humidity from the heat builds up, and in August we have a tremendous amount of thunderstorms, sometimes hailstorms, micro tornadoes. So
Devastates the crops.
it devastates the crops. That's the first challenge. If you can make it through there, then you got to get to the curing barns. If you make it through the curing barns, then you have to go through 2 to 3 years of fermentation. So unfortunately, this has been the challenge with Tabernacle in general. And then you take the David and Goliaths. It's a special size. It's perfecto. It's only our top rollers that are rolling those. So you add those two things. Hence, it's a limited production. I can tell you, Neptune. You guys are on the top of our list always. So if you can't find them at Neptune, they're going to be hard to find.
Probably not going to be found.
Yes.
Well, Guillermo, you heard it here straight from the horse's mouth. But yeah, that just means when you get them, keep them, preserve them, also use them for special occasions.
I wish I could get them in more. It's not a ploy. It's not a marketing thing. It's a tobacco.
Which a lot of people tend to think sometimes.
Yeah, because
Not about you, but about any
no,
of
but
them.
it's been played out, man. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Everybody, I remember back in the day, you know, or mid 2000s thing. You know, that wasn't. Now it's like a shtick
Yeah.
for everybody. But when it comes to Connecticut, it's a very unique growing region. You know, we have issues with labor. There's so many challenges.
Right.
So it's not a ploy. And I always want to make sure the quality and consistency is spot on. There's always a lot of pressure. You know, we're growing. It's great. There's a lot of pressure to just get stuff up. But I've seen too many times, I've learned through other people's mistakes, you can't go back in this business.
You can't rush it.
You can't, because you rush it, and then there's a construction problem. Tobacco's not fermented properly. Then you can, you know, I worked too hard to come to this point where we're at and have built these great relationships, and we have great support from customers like you. Jeopardize that, no matter what. As long as I'm around, I can never jeopardize it.
Integrity is the name of the game.
Yeah. So I want to make sure, Guillermo, when you get that cigar, it's smoking spot on.
Hey, I'm sure he'll appreciate that. And we appreciate you, Nick. Thank you for taking the time.
Thank you so much.
Be the man. Have a great show.
All right.
Continued success.
Thank you very much. I appreciate you.
All right, guys. Thank you for tuning in. This is Rene with Neptune Cigars at the PCA 2023. Catch you next year.
Peace.